Happy Tuesday, YouTube family. We're back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. Justus just closed his first wholesale deal and made $12K. Let me say that again, $12K. He's from South Georgia. And you guys, I want to bring him on to share with you guys his stories, how he closed his first wholesale deal. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this interview, get some nuggets from it, get some information from this. Anything you guys learn, don't just collect information, but go take action, apply, implement, and that's how you're going to get results. Without actions, you cannot get results. All right, you guys? So, and if you guys do like these kind of interview, remember to let me know by smashing that thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, smash the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification, you guys. That way when I go live or when I upload a new video, you guys will get notified and not miss out on it. And these kind of interview, I like to do these kind of interview because I want to let you guys know that these are real people. They're doing it. They're not gurus. They're not like people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars already. There are people out there that just recently closed their first wholesale deal. They're in the game, they're hustling, they're putting in the work, and they're making it happen. And I'm doing it to let you know that you can all do this if you guys have the work ethic and willing to grind and put in the work. This is not an easy get rich quick. Let me say that again. For those of you who thinks that, oh, wholesaling houses or getting into flipping houses are easy, getting rich quick, you're in the wrong biz. It's not a get rich quick, you guys. All right. This is a journey, and it's only for the massive action taker. All right. So anyways, let me bring on the guest. Justus, what up? What up, buddy? Justus, can you hear me?
What's going on, Khang, man? I appreciate the invite.
Hey.
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear,
can you
bro.
Hear me?
Yep. So, Justus, dude, let's get right in it, man. Share with everybody kind of your background, your stories, and how to lead you into getting into wholesaling. So, I want to know your story, your background, kind of where you're at financially, your situation, your circumstances, and what got you to where you are today, man. Can you hear me?
Okay, well, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, good.
Can you? Yeah, well, both my wife and I, we always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and like our first date was actually just driving for dollars. We weren't really driving for dollars, but that was our first date looking at homes. We just drove around to the better side of town. We're looking at mansions and stuff like that. So we kind of planted that seed early in our relationship. Clothing line, food, a lot of different things. And so we went to a seminar. We went to a fortune builders seminar. It was a 3-day seminar in Tallahassee. And from there, we just, we left a lot of information, you know, and then from there, pretty much everything we know from YouTube, from you, Max, a couple other guys, you know, just watching you guys' videos and actually applying the knowledge that we've obtained and taking those first steps and just jumping out there. Really is, I think it's really about just having the faith and just gaining the knowledge as you go. You don't have to have all the information to take the first step. But if you have enough information to take that first step, then the knowledge will come as is needed. And that's the approach we took.
Very, very well said, man. So, hey, now, Justus, I want to know, like, if you don't mind sharing, and if you don't want to share it, that's completely fine, man. But I want to know, like, financially, situation-wise, where were you at the time?
Honestly, I was okay. I wasn't rich. I wasn't working cash. But I started waking up to a lot of like the you know, like, cause I finally got the job I wanted for a long time. I was welding when I quit. When I started working in real estate full time, I was welding, and I always wanted to. I started welding when I was 19, and I haven't had a welding job since then up until this year. The beginning of this year, I started welding for a really big company, but it started bothering me that I was making so much money for someone else. And I just had to push myself and jump out there and leave. But what happened? Well, financially, I only saved up enough for 1 month's rent before I left. So I had my 1 month's rent. So I kind of pinned myself against the wall to make sure this would work, because it had to work. It had to. So I just took that leap of faith and I made sure it worked. I pushed and can you hear me?
Yep. For some reason, like, I don't know if my internet or your internet connection, but we kind of like going, you kind of freeze a little bit here and there. So I'm not sure which one, man, because I have trouble with mine sometimes. So I'm not sure if it's mine or yours. But so now, Justice, so at the time when you merged into, so I guess my question for now is, how were you exposed to the wholesaling? Justice, dude, you froze up, bro. So you froze up, man. So let me check.
When I went to the, yeah, I'm gonna do the same. 1 second, I'm gonna do the same.
You guys let me know if it's my internet or it's Justice internet, but we're gonna try to fix it so that way we can have a good interview. While Justice is doing that, I want to let you guys know that if you are new to the channel, you guys smash the subscribe button. If you do enjoy these kind of interview, drop me a comment, smash the thumbs up, and let me know. That's the only way that I will know to continue doing this. And also, too, if you recently closed your first wholesale deal, drop me an email. Email me at wholesale2millions@gmail.com so we can get you on the show.
Yes.
All right, Justice, you're back on, bro.
Yes, I'm here. All right, but I was introduced to wholesaling. My wife caught wind of it first. Then she kind of explained it to me, and I was working there. I know a lot of people probably heard this ad on the radio. It says, if you want to get into real estate with no money down, then we're having a seminar in your area. And she went. I couldn't go because I had to go to work. And she went, and she came home and told me about the idea of real estate. I mean, the idea of wholesaling. She learned there at the first seminar, because that seminar led to a second one. And she came home, she's like, yeah, this technique called wholesaling, where you don't actually sell the property, but you kind of sell the contract. And, you don't have to use any money and different things of that nature. And that's kind of what we were wanting to pursue. So we just jumped out there. We went to the seminar for 3 days. We left with it. It was a 3-day seminar. They didn't touch. I thought it was going to be 3 days exclusively to wholesaling. But they touched on a lot of different things. So I didn't, honestly, she took the information a lot better than I did, but I left with a lot of motivation. I left with knowing the possibility, and that's all I really needed. Because once I knew it was possible, and as much motivation I left with, that propelled me and kept me going, because I knew the information was out there. Even though I left with very little, my wife, she received the information a lot better than I did, but like I said, they gave me enough motivation to go find more information and apply myself.
Awesome, man. Yeah. First, see, the thing is, like there's 3 things that when you merge into something new, first you gotta believe it's possible. Because when
Absolutely.
you believe the business is possible, then which means you dig into it more. You're trying to dig up more information and trying to, and then second, you have to believe that no matter what situation or circumstance you're in, that it is possible for you, that you can do it. All right. And
Absolutely.
then third is you just got to take massive action, man.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, so let me see. So Justice, so when did that all begin? Like, when did you all begin discovering the wholesaling?
Wholesaling, this happened back in May of this year. So about, what is it? November.
6 months?
So about 5-6 months. Yeah.
5 to 6 months. May? Dang,
Yep.
Dude. So May of 2019 or 2018. And if you don't mind me asking, how much did you spend on the 3-day seminar?
$200.
Nice, dude. And
Yep.
And you left with motivation.
Absolutely, man. Just like, that's just my personality and my character. if I know it's possible and I see it, and just knowing it was possible, just the motivation on top of that. Because like you was just saying, it was the belief of a thing, And if you have that faith and that belief, man, it take you, you can actually manifest your desired goals. Just believing in it enough. And then and not just belief, but also that massive action that you speak of. And we formulated that thing all together, mixed it up, and made it happen.
Nice, man. Okay, so now let's jump on to your first wholesale deal. So what was your take from the seminars, and also too is what do you learn and what do you apply to get your first wholesale deal?
From the seminar, I can say the seminar opened up the window. Like I said, it just showed me the avenue that I can take, because I wasn't aware of wholesaling at all. So the third day of the seminar, they had like a live call. I thought it was going to be an actual live call like you do, like the cold calling, but it was, they pulled two members of the crowd up on stage and they acted it out. So I was like, okay, I kind of get the process, like calling the seller, calling, or however the process was. It was just like a cold call. They just practiced it. So I kind of understood the process, like the negotiating process, getting the contract out there to them, and just the whole how everything unfolds. So that's really what I left with, and I was like, okay, I got the gist of it, and yeah, that was pretty much it. But then they touched on a lot of different things, like passive income. That was the first place I heard passive income. So ever since then, I say like 1,000 times a day to my wife, like passive income, passive income. That's the main thing. That's the main goal, to have our money making money for us in our sleep. Like with rental properties and different things like that. But of course that unfold in the future for us in the near future. But we're taking the proper steps to get there. But the passive income, the wholesaling, it was quite a bit of things that my wife, she still held on to real good. She just, because it was a passion of hers more than it was with mine. We feed off each other's energy, because we're a team. But for me, my passion was really music and fashion. So, but we kept trying. We tried the music. We tried food. We were selling food for a while. We did a lot of different things. But now we're just going to stay here and really stay, because we see the possibility. So yeah.
I love the power couple, bro. I could have done, I could have not done and become who I am today if it weren't for the wife, man. So power couple.
Yeah,
heck yeah, bro.
absolutely.
So, let me touch on one more thing before we get Justus into sharing his first wholesale deal here. You guys, let me tell you something. When you go to these seminars, it's all about, taking the next step, right? So just like Justus said, you don't have to figure everything out, but that seminar leads to another one. And then that
Right.
leads to something else, and it leads to something else, And let me tell you, in seminars, let me tell you something. If you want to know if the guy is the real deal or not, let me tell you one more time. If you want to know if your mentor or whoever is hosting the seminar, running it, if they are a real deal, tell them to get on a live cold call. I bet you anything they won't. You guys gotta understand this. When you're role playing, it's kind of already preset already. It's like when my wife trained up her VA when she role play. So once the VA once the VA study my King Kong seller script, and then she role play with them, they are good. Like after like a couple of days, like they're good. But when they go live with the seller, trust me, it's completely different. It takes some time to actually experience it, but at least they get like a format. So when you role play on stage, that's like completely. Ask them to go live, and trust me, they will be exposed, because a lot of these guys that run seminars, but I'm not saying that they all flake, right? There are real one, but I'm just saying that if they're doing it every single day, like talking to seller, trust me, it's completely different. But anyway, Justus, dude, let's get into your first wholesale deal, man. Share with people, how did you, how do you guys found it, find the buyers and leading all the way to closing?
Okay, well, back to the seminar too. They were telling us, things like bandit signs, sending out postcards, building up your buyers list, different things of that. So we kind of had an overall idea of what our game plan would be when we got back home. And we we didn't waste time. You know, we didn't waste any time. And another thing they instilled in us was putting in 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours a day. So that was watching videos, whatever. If we were just sitting still for 3 hours at night, you know, before we went to bed, just watching at least 2 hours, watching 2 hours worth of videos or talking and coming up with a game plan, taking a small step every single day. So you're not constantly doing the same thing. So you're actually growing. So we made sure we did that. And so when we got home, we started putting bandit signs around towns because we putting up ghost signs at first. There was like, we didn't have no property. And I would drive around sometime. My wife would drive around and we'd do it together. And we'd just grab as many, we would drive for dollars and we'd find vacant homes and just write down the address. We'll come home and search for the, go on the tax assessor's website, get the owner's address, and just mail them something very simple like, hello, my name is Justus. Both my wife and I are interested in your property. You can reach us at this number. We're cash buyers, so we can close within 30 days. Hope to hear from you soon. God bless. Simple. And a lot of people, actually, I remember at one point in time, because it was still early in our, you know, in the real estate thing for us. I mean, our phones were just all day ringing, all day. You know, so we didn't really know how to react. We did our best, but we did really good. We're still doing great. But yeah, it was just an eye opener because we were like, at first we felt just so blessed. Like, why is this happening to us? It's just unfolding so fast for us, and we were just very excited. And that too. Once you start taking the steps, you'll realize that it's really not that difficult, but you just have to stay consistent. And once your phone start ringing and you actually see people are interested and things start unfolding, it pulls you in more because that belief gets stronger and stronger because you're seeing it unfold. So the more you apply yourself, the more you see it unfold, and the expecting of it too. Like, you can't do it and then be doubtful. We were like expecting great things to happen, you know. And we're doing the bandit signs. People were reaching out to us, calling us all the time, postcards, all that good stuff. And it just kept working for us. Just kept working.
Nice, man. So you guys doing drive for dollars, bandit sign, and postcard. And you guys, I will get into asking Justus how much he spent on those and how often he sent them out. But I want to know, where did the first deal come from? Tell us the story.
Our very first deal, the one I made the $12K on. Your
first wholesale deal, bro.
That first wholesale deal. Okay. I had already left my job, mind you. So I was grinding I was grinding really, really hard. I left in September, and I was just grinding real hard. Like every morning, I will post. We had a property under contract, but we backed out. The first home we put under contract, it was a fire damage home, and he wanted to sell it. It was like I believe it was a 2-1, and he wanted to sell it for $5K, 5.5. And it was fire damage, and it was in a rough neighborhood. But he just wanted to get rid of it. So we thought maybe we can at least sell it for $9, you know? And so we put it under contract, and I learned this from you. You know, you was like, just get it under contract and make sure you have the clause in there for the inspection period and that you can back out and keep your earnings money, and you don't have to explain why you're backing out. So we took that jewel from you and applied that to our contract. So we just know, like, whenever a seller calls us, we don't do any negotiating over the phone. We make sure we get out to the property, give it a good look over. We point out all the flaws, none of the good stuff. We point out the flaws so they can drop the value. And the contract is already waiting on the side. So, you know, and then we come back later and negotiate if we have to, you know, and that's how that deal unfolded. Once we backed out the first deal, we actually backed out of that deal and 2 other deals. My wife, she got a little upset, not upset about it, but she was like, she didn't want us to get used to backing out of deals. But I understood that, you know, because we're trying to build a brand and a reputation. We don't want to keep backing out of deals. But I told her too, just to confirm things with her, that we're still in the beginning. I'd rather us back out of these deals instead of sticking into it and learning the hard way and messing money up. And, you know, like, the safest thing to do right now in the beginning is to back out of these deals. But later on in our career, we won't have to. Even if we do later on, we still would, but we'll, rather us back out now than have to back out later.
I agree, man. And the thing is, and I just want to touch on this a little bit. Some of you guys, when you first started, and I was exactly the same thing. When I first started, I was so afraid to put property up under contract because I was afraid that I can't perform and then I have to back out and then it caused a lot of problem, my reputation. But you guys got to understand, when you first started out, you're not going to know everything. So when you put property up under contract, there will be time where you cannot move forward, find a buyers, you can't close on it. So I want you guys to be okay. That it is completely okay. Because you don't know anything, everything. So you can't be like 100% knowing, yep, this deal is going to be closed. But the thing is, obviously, it's coming down to reputation. So after you are gaining more experience, your rate of tying deal up, like let's say you tie 10 property up on a contract, maybe 1 or 2 of them will fall apart. I mean, still today, we have properties that will fall apart because of something the seller said or misinformation that they don't provide, all right? So I want to let you guys know that pull the triggers, learn from it, so you get comfortable with, hey, this deal, okay, here's the mistake, it didn't work out, so we have to cancel. So you learn from that mistake, so the next one comes around, you won't make that same thing again. But don't let that fear hold you back from putting potential deal under contract, because that's what I was afraid of when I first started as well. So Justus, man, so how do you come across this first deal, bro?
All right, we had a home under contract. So, we had bandit signs up, and I would go on Craigslist and I would do 5 posts about that property in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, and 5 in the evening. So it was one of those, it was a time where I was making the posts about the property on Craigslist. And before I closed my laptop, I went to, properties for sale on Craigslist. Right before because I was done making the post and I was about to close my laptop, and someone just told me to go look, and I found a property close to the university here in town. So it was like a really decent area. And I reached out to her immediately. As soon as I seen it, she only wanted 15 because she was very eager to sell her property. And that's another thing you mentioned, the eager sellers. She was very, very, maybe too eager, because she was ready to just, because we weren't dragging our feet, but we weren't moving as fast as she wanted us to because of her eagerness. But I reached out to her, and just so happened she stayed about 4 hours away, so that was more reason for her to sell the property. She didn't want to deal with it. So luckily, when I reached out to her, she was actually on her way here that week. So she came down. I met her at the property. I walked around the property, like I said, I didn't point out any of the good things of the property. The property was really good. It was really decent property, but it just had a lot of trash from the tenants that were there before. Nothing was really wrong with it. Small cosmetics. That was it. And, I pointed all those small things out, and I said, well, 15, I don't know if I could do 15, but I can give you 10,000 within 30 days. And she didn't hesitate. She said, okay, I'll grab the contract. When we sat on the front porch, then signed the contract.
Oh, wow, man. So this lead's coming from for sale by owner?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. And how long was it on the market for?
It wasn't on the market at all. She had it on Craigslist.
Oh, right. Okay. I understand. So basically she had it on Craigslist, but do you know how long that post was on there for? Because the reason why I ask is because I'm surprised there's no one else that attack it if it been on for a while. That's all. Right.
I honestly, I never looked at how long the post was up there, and she never mentioned it. So I couldn't even say.
Sure, no problem. Okay, so you contacted her, went out and meet with the seller?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So you went out and meet with the seller and then negotiate and then lock it up for $10,000.
Absolutely. That was my plan that was my plan the whole time. I didn't mention no numbers, and I let her tell me all the bad stuff, all the reasons she went. So, she was helping me become more comfortable with asking for 10. I mean, offering 10 instead of the 15, because all she kept doing was saying all the bad things, bad this, bad that, and the 10 is this and that. And So she was building up my case more than she was building up her own.
Gotcha.
And I stayed on the phone with her when I went to go see the property. So when I first called her, I was actually on my way home, and I called her and she said, yes. I texted her first. She was like, well, if you're not serious, then a couple of people did reach out to her. She said, yeah, several people reached out to me, and they're bull crapping around. So if you're not serious, don't ask about the property. And I confirmed to her that I'm very serious. And she called, and I went to the property while she was on the phone. And everything, and then she just kept telling me, like, I'm just tired. I'm just sick of it. The tenants stayed. She said the tenants were there for years without paying rent. And that was another. She just didn't want to deal with the people there anymore. But luckily, when we got there, they weren't there. And
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So okay. So let me kind of recap. So the seller lives about 4 hours away. Property currently rented. She asked for $15,000. You came and negotiated and locked up for $10,000. And how about earnest money? How much earnest money did you guys drop?
I didn't put nothing. I didn't put any earnest money down.
Zero earnest money. And then now, what do you do with the contract after she have signed it? Do you bring it to a title company or what?
Well, in Georgia, we're attorney state, so we had to go to an actual attorney. And my wife, she figured out a way to structure the deal. We found out about transactional lending. So when we reached out to our attorney, we already had the attorney in place. We had our contracts, just so when we did find a seller, we can act faster, and then instead of doing it the backwards, like finding a seller, then going to run and get a contract, then trying to find an attorney. We already had that stuff in place. And we went to our attorney and we suggested how we would like to close. And she said, she was like, you don't need transactional lending. She wasn't even aware of it. She said, you can use the end buyer's cash to close the entire, to close on the whole deal. So that's the way we did it.
Got you. And the thing is, for those of you who are new to this wholesaling, I'll have Justus explain all of that. So hold your thoughts. Don't get confused. Now, Justus, so you lock it up for how long do you lock it up for?
I had it under a 60-day contract, but to satisfy the seller, I chopped it in half and told her 30.
Okay, so you lock it up under contract for 30 days.
Yes, sir.
And now, what was the ARV on the property?
What you say, about 40? It's about, because we
bring the wife on the show, bro.
You want to come over here? No, she's shy.
Okay, sure, no problem. So the ARV is 40K?
Yeah, she said 50 because we it was such a steal that we punched the numbers, but we didn't have to really, because we just knew we could get rid of it so quick. So we used the homes around in the area. We did the numbers. Like few homes were going for 40 and a few for 50 in that area. Okay. So it's about like 40, 45.
Okay, so about 40 to, okay, so let's go ahead and say 45 for ARV. Now, how do you guys figure out the ARV?
Well, we
you use Redfin, Zillow, or what?
Oh no, yeah, we use the tax assessor. We use Zillow, iComps. Sometimes we even ask neighbors, what they actually paid, or how they
Okay, cool. So you guys, the reason why I asked all this question, because I read you guys' previous comment and you guys are asking these questions. So I want to make sure that our guests here can help clear it up. So, okay, so the ARV is about 45K. And what do you figure the rehab would be?
The rehab, yeah, honestly, it needed very little rehab, but we walk around and put those numbers together ourselves. Like, this would cost maybe $5,000, or this would be $1,000, and we kind of tally it up and bring it to we'll round it up. So if it's about 5K, we'll say 10. If it's about 10, we'll say 15. But it needed very, very little work. Maybe about $5,000 to $10,000 worth of work.
Gotcha. Okay, so about 5 to 10K in rehab. Okay, I think the channel would love to see the wife on the show if she can, because we don't get that many girls onto the show. So I would love to see the power couple. No?
Here she comes.
Yeah. And what's her name?
Shalette.
Shalette. How's it going, beautiful Shalette?
Hello, how are you?
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and the reason why, Shalette, it's nice to get you on because, there are females, girls out there that are doing this. And I think we're bringing you on. It's, it's really an inspiration for others, girls, to get it done.
You're right.
Oh, she's about to sit down.
Okay, awesome. So now, Justice, I don't know if you want to tell us, or Shalette, you want to tell us, how do you guys find the buyer?
How we find our buyers? What you want to say?
Yeah. Well, for that particular property, we actually just took the number down for a house that was already for rent in that area. And it really didn't take much, luckily for that property. And we contacted him and he was interested in purchasing.
Okay. And now, what was it rent for?
Rent, we never asked. Never asked.
So basically, okay, so did you guys assign this over to this buyer based on the rent?
No,
or is the buyer gonna flip it?
yeah, I believe he never even told us that either. But I do believe he was going to just fix and keep it. He wanted to keep these properties
As a rental. Gotcha. Okay, so now, Shalette, you mentioned that you called the buyer, but how did the buyer came in contact with you, or how was he added to your list?
Let me tell you. When we drive for dollars, we don't only look for vacant properties. When we see for sale signs, we take those as potential buyers. Because when we see for rent signs, we take those numbers as potential buyers because we know they're also investors. So we'll reach out to them. Hi, we seen a sign on College Street, and we noticed you had a property on College Street for rent, but we're not inquiring about that property. We want to know if you're also interested in buying more property. And most of the time they would say yes. And luckily for us, we seen a rent sign in that same area, and he was willing to purchase.
Very smart. Very smart. Gotcha. Okay, so basically, the buyer comes in from for you guys driving in dollars and getting those for rent ad. So basically, calling some landlord in the area, knowing that if they have a property for rent there, they probably might be interested in buying another piece of property. And you guys came across this guy, and this guy is want to buy this property, fix it up, and keep it as a rental as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. So now, how do you guys set up the showing between him and the seller?
Well, like that, my wife, she was just saying this earlier because we have another home we're about to put on the contract later today. That at this particular property, we didn't have to do this, but I said it over the phone. It's like a verbal agreement that we're going to need that key for our inspection period. And our inspection period is as long as the contract lasts. So if we back out the deal, then you get your key back. But if we say it's an inspection period or due diligence period, but it's really to get our buyers in and out of the property.
Love it. So you got the keys from the seller. It's currently rented. So do you contact the renter to show up the showing, or how do you maneuver around that?
No. Okay.
It was previously rented, but at the time when we had it on a contract, it was vacant.
Ah, gotcha.
So we didn't have that problem.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you got the keys from the seller. The property was vacant, and you set up the walkthrough with the buyer. And so what did you send it out to the buyer for?
I got on the contract for 10. I was asking 30, but we negotiated and he got me down to 22.5.
It's still good, bro. So 22.
Yeah,
man. So he got you down to 22.5 now. What deposit or how much was the non-refundable do you got from the buyer?
I was requesting, how much did I request? Like 2,000?
No.
Like 15?
Yes, I think initially we asked for 15 just so we can see the severity on his end, but we settled for 750.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. So buyer put $750 $750 for the non-refundable. And how soon do you guys set up the closing with the buyer?
We put the contract. We put the property under contract with the seller on October 4th, and November 1st we closed with the end buyer.
Okay. November 1st. Okay, so roughly almost a month. How quickly do you guys find the buyer? A couple days, couple weeks?
About 7 days, 1 week. And we were persistent. Like that was the only thing on our minds is make sure this property gets sold. You know.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
And we knew. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead, Justus.
Yeah, but we knew the condition of the property that we weren't going to sit on it too long. So I took it upon myself to actually clean the property out. Because the tenants left like a bed, dressers, clothes, all that stuff. But I seen the potential in it, and I didn't want anyone seeing it in that condition. So I went in and took all the trash out and put it on the curb. The city, they come and pick all that stuff up, whether it's like big items and all. They came and picked it all up. And so it was ready to, have a walkthrough. I had the key, and I was just, going from there. And only 2 people walked through that property, and the second person started throwing numbers out there. The other person, I think they were interested, but they were taking their time. And so when the other guy came in, we just went for it.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Okay. So lock on a contract October 4th, close on it November 1st, made $12K, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Dude, Justus and Shalette, thank you so much, man. That's okay. So those of you guys who have any questions on this deal here, drop me a comment. Let me know. Justus probably be able to help you guys answer. So now, let me ask you. So Justus and Shalette, let me ask you guys, for those that are out there that are, either they are a boyfriend, girlfriend, or they're married, they're a couple. What are some tips and advice that you guys can give them? Because they probably, they either want to go at this together or they're lingering or things like that. I want to know from the power couple, what kind of tips and advice can you give to those?
Well, you go first.
First thing first, the woman is always right.
You'll get along with the wife really well.
Right. But not something she made very clear, and I agreed on, was that we both have our strong suits. Like there's things that she's better than, and and there's things that I'm better at. So we need to focus on what we're stronger in and not step outside of that. And there's things that she's better at that she has to master and just handle that part of it, and make sure you stay on whatever you're strong at, and because she was familiar with real estate before we met. So there was a lot of little things she knew that I didn't know, and when she brought it to the table, I had to just take it and run with it. But and like too, I'll jump out there real quick, but she's more methodical and she sits back and break it all the way down. So while I'm shooting off to the races, she's more calm and collected. But that balance is pretty good too, because I'm more eager and ready. I don't want to sit around waiting to close deals. But she's pulling me back in to think about these things and take it slow. So the dynamic is pretty awesome. Dude,
Justus, Shalette, it's like when you say that, it's exactly like you're talking about me and the wife. The exact same thing. I'm more like before the guy even finished saying something, I'm already out there doing it. And the wife is here, she's more conservative. She's more looking at all the information, trying to gather information, seeing things like that. Oh, wow, man. So I want to know now, what is your strength and what is the wife's strength? And how do you split up your role?
I think, in my opinion, I think my strength is the overall knowledge and a little more systematic, and his is talking to the sellers and creating that rapport. I'm not really good at that, honestly. So I let him handle that, and it works for us.
Nice. So basically,
it's like I really work for her, kind of.
Dude,
Like he handle all this big stuff, and I just go out and shake hands and make, you know.
Just to stop it, man. You're talking about me, dude. Stop it, bro. So
For
the
real.
thing is, so basically you take care of all the back end, right? You take care of the back end, keeping the business, and Justice out there working like he's an employee, just like me. Gotcha, man. So, you guys, for those that are now, for people that wants to reach out, connect with you guys, let them know how they can do that.
I haven't established my Facebook yet, but you can find me on Instagram at True Indeed. That's True_Indeed. On Instagram.
Awesome. And now, Shalette, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
You are Shalette.
Shalette. Okay, great. And so that's Justice. And Shalette, what about the girls that want to reach out and connect with you? How can they?
Facebook.
Okay.
Shalette, SHALETTE.
Okay. So,
Very.
gotcha. Okay, so for those that are in the area that wants to connect with you guys and probably doing deals together or getting tips and advice, is that the place that they can go to? Is Facebook and Instagram?
For right now, yes.
Yes, for now.
Gotcha, man. I think you guys should start a channel.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I wanted to say another thing about a power couple.
Yeah.
Like you have to remember too, like you're in a relationship and you don't want your business to hurt your relationship because of money or because of just like ego or anything like that. Like you still have to put your relationship first and really, kind of make sacrifices and be easy and pleasant towards each other, because there's a lot of great things going to happen for your business and your relationship if you don't step on each other's toes and you're always communicating and allowing each other to grow, so allowing mistakes, but always bringing everything to the table and communicating.
Awesome, man. Great advice. So, now, Justice, what I want to ask you is that, first of all, how long have you guys been married or together?
2 years.
Nice, man. So you guys have been married for 2 years, or are you guys together for 2 years?
We've been together and married in total for 2 years.
Nice. Okay. And now people are going to ask this. Well, what if, because I know that Shalette brought you onto the whole real estate game. Now, did you have to convince him or how did you get, because I have people saying, Khang, I want to go at this. I want to bring my husband or I want to bring my boyfriend or girlfriend or wife onto this so we can do this together. Because back in my country, there's a saying, like if you're together, like if you're married, like or just together, they say two can move mountains. Like two of you guys together with that power together, you guys can truly move mountains. So I want to know is how the Shalette did you have to convince Justice or how did you guys how did you get him on board?
It wasn't much convincing. We just both spoke about our passion and we just took off from there. It wasn't hard.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, how about, I know that, if you're working together and you're always together all the time, obviously there's going to be argument and things like that. How do you get over and put business is business and then personal is personal? How do you guys do that?
Well, it's kind of hard because we don't really be separated, of course, but we're always talking business all the time. Like we really very rarely, we still shop and go out and do things, but our small talk is business. We're always talking business. And that's part of our relationship. That's still our connection there. So we really don't separate it. So like to have a healthy business, you got to have a healthy relationship. Even if we weren't together, I think a leader or a boss has to have healthy relationships with their employees in order to have a healthy business. So, like if we bump heads or anything, we do separate for a few minutes, we calm down, whatever, and then we always come back because we know the greater mission at hand. So, we very rarely bicker and argue, so it's because we like back to our beliefs, when you have a real goal that's obtainable, all the petty stuff kind of falls. Yeah, the petty stuff goes away really. Like we don't have time to bicker and be over petty stuff. So, you know, we put our prides aside for the greater good of everything.
Very, very well said. So you guys, we're going to wrap this up. One last thing is any tips, advice that you guys both can give to people that are starting out or going at this and haven't closed their first wholesale deal yet? So what are some tips and advice that they can do today?
Just never give up. It's possible. Just believe, really.
Justus, you got anything to say?
Yeah, I would say I think a lot of people get hung up on thinking they need to know everything, you know? And that's real. I believe that's what took us to closing our first deal, you know, because we almost got caught in that analysis paralysis for a little, but I knew enough I knew I could back out. Like when you told us that once we get a property under contract and we put that clause in there that we can back out, I knew, like, let me just go and put the property under contract. If we got to back out, we can back out, but let me at least take that first step. So people need to know, like, the knowledge comes as needed. Once you take the first step, and then when you need to know something or figure something out, find the answer, and then take that second step. But don't get hung up thinking you need to know every step until the end. You know, then if you do that, you may not, everything is changed. You get halfway, then the whole process changed, and you wasn't ready for that. So you just got to take it as you go and just jump out there. You got to be a little reckless sometimes and just jump out there and just make it happen.
Awesome, man. So for those of you, for those couples out there, I finally got a power couple onto the show. Hope this will be an inspiration for you guys, a motivation for you guys to, that let you know that this business is possible. All right, you guys, that you can do it. All right, you guys. So I really hope that you guys truly enjoy this episode here, because this is probably the first power couple that I've got on, and I'm excited, and I'm just super excited right now because Justus, whatever he just say, it's like he's talking about my own story. So thanks, man.
No problem.
So,
I really, really appreciate you, man. You actually helped us close our first deal. You don't even know what you've done for us.
Man, thank you so much, dude. That really means a lot. And you guys, if you guys are new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you guys wants to come on to the show, if you recently closed your first wholesale deal, drop me a comment, email me at wholesale2millions@gmail.com. And I think Justus and Shalette should start their own channel. They'll be able to get some people on watching them. Because the one thing that I've learned is that watching Gary Vee is, he said, and that's the reason why I also started my channel too, is because he said that, you don't have to, he said people like documentation journey. So it's like when you've made it already, there's so many people out there that have that. But I'm thinking if you documentate your journey, right, the journey of how you're going to get to where you are, man, you're going to get a lot of people being inspired and want to follow you.
Hey, Khang, who did you say said that?
I'm Gary Vee. Gary Vee said it's from Gary Vee, man.
All right, so that's the reason I put my Instagram up. Because I understand myself, I never heard anyone say it, but I knew for me, if I watched the man come from nothing to something, is way more convincing and is more heartfelt. So I said, when I close my first deal, I'm going to start documenting it so people, and I know I'm going to become great in real estate. So I said, before I get great, let me start now when I was in the dirt, feet on the ground, and show people how I progressed, because that's way more convincing than the man at the top telling you, man, just jump out there and do it. Just try. Just start this. But I wanted to show people me starting from nothing to something.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, like I said, I think you guys should start your channel. People would love to see your journey and the documentation, because they might go through the same thing, and you hear sharing with them the struggles, right? The goods, the bad, as you were growing, and then also one day, boom, you get to a certain level. That's just a true inspiration. Like I wish, because the thing for me is right now, like I wish I would have, there's YouTube and me doing all of this back when I first started. You guys should have seen the journey that I have to go through to get to where we are today. So to to me, dude, you should documentate whatever it is. Build up some audience. It's for a motivation, inspire you'll be able to reach, other people that's on the same path and want to do, and want to be doing what you guys are doing. And I'm thinking just showing and sharing with everyone, that kind of, cause there's so many people out there that's already creating channel they already kind of like made it, right? Like they're already making 6-figure a month or whatever it is. But I think it's nice to create something that are people watching. Like it's almost like an episode. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, dude, if you do it, shoot me an email with your channel. I'll be your follower.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you to the power couple. You guys take care, and wish you guys all the best and more success. And keep us posted, okay?
Thank you very much.
Yep. And hey, you know what? I'm thinking that I'll probably bring you guys back. How about within like a year? We'll bring you guys back on again, kind of share with everybody kind of where you're at a year from now.
Absolutely. Sounds great, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. You guys. Take care.